Hello.
Howdy.
We are on the last leg of our previews over unders on the divisions in the NFL. And last week, neither one of us noticed it, but we're like, oh yeah, the AFC East is bad. And we went through all the teams, Colts, Texans, Jags, Titans, and then today I realized, yeah, that's not the East, that was the South. So
Mhm.
I said we did the East and North last week. We actually did the South and North. So now we're going to do the West and East
East and West.
this week.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's start out in the West.
Mm.
We got one of them teams with the old horse mascot. We're going to start with the Broncos. I'm going with the Broncos fresh off a playoff berth with a rookie quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going 9 wins over under for the Broncos.
Do it 8.5. And I've heard from around the media zeitgeist that some people think the Broncos are going to have the best defense in the league this year.
So best defense in the league plus Sean Payton, who some
Yeah.
people have thought has been like the best play caller in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not
Offensive savant.
since he came back yet, not quite that to that level,
Historically.
but so that's kind of scary, especially if Bo Nix takes the next step. But
That's right.
all right, it is 9.5. That is some
Yeah.
love for the Broncos.
That's that. Got to be that defense. People are really because they were good last year, right? Like that was one of their strengths. Kept them in them get their games and put them in the playoffs, right?
Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was good. I think if I remember right, they had really good linebackers. Well, yeah, I mean, like, Nick's had a good year, but it's not like he
Mm-hmm.
blew the doors off. So them making the playoffs, obviously, the defense must have been pretty good. Yeah, look it up, see what their overall defense rank was.
So I'm on Fox Sports right now, and
One of our many sponsors.
sure, yes, absolutely. They're clearly paying attention. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They were eighth, the eighth best defense in the league last year.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good.
It's not
So,
bad.
so if they're expected to win 9.5,
Mhm.
and they're in a division with the Chiefs, who are obviously good, the Raiders, who no doubt should be better than they were last year.
Yep.
And that's not saying much, but
Yep.
and then the Chargers, who are looking to take the next step with a really good quarterback and
Mhm.
a really good coach. 9.5 seems like a lot in that division, but if their defense is that good, and you got Peyton and you got Nix, and um, I don't know, I guess it's fair enough. We'll see if excuse me, we'll see if Nix has the old sophomore slump or if
Yeah.
they just kind of take it to the next level. So
Mhm.
J.K. Dobbins is their starting running back. So he had a good start to the year last year. Then he got hurt. He seems like he always gets hurt. I guess I'm sort of surprised that he is a number one just because he's had so many injuries. And I don't know, he's getting a little bit older. I mean, he's still probably in his 20s, but Cortland Sutton is a true number one.
Mhm.
Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin are their two and their three. Obviously, they must see something in those guys. I'm pretty sure Mims was more of like a special teamer and like a fourth or fifth option last year. So I don't know. He must be impressing. And then they have. It seemed like last year their tight ends were just kind of like afterthoughts,
Mhm.
but now they got Ingram from the Jaguars, who I wouldn't say he's elite, but he's probably a top half of the league tight end, I would say.
Mhm.
And he's shown flashes of being really good. So
Yeah, but hold on. Their fullback is on IR.
that's true. And they don't have a
So
backup.
I mean, they're fucked. What are we talking here? What are
Do
we
you think
doing?
Sean,
9.5.
do you think Sean Payton's gonna has any plays in his playbook without a fullback in the game?
No, man, I think their offense is toast now. Shit. I would have totally revised. Anyway,
So this is one of those where my brain says, okay, kind of a tough division. Are they really gonna win 9.5 after like playing pretty well last year? It's not like anyone's gonna take
playoff
them
team.
lightly, but
Those kind
I
of
don't know. I guess if their defense is as good as you say they're gonna be, that's fair. But
I say nothing. I'm just repeating what I've heard, right? So don't put this on me. But I will say I think there's a lot of love out there for the Broncos this year. I think I don't want to say that Bo Nix and the drafting of Bo Nix coming out of that draft was like a joke, because I don't think it was, but I think there was a lot of skepticism. And I think it was clear that most of the talking heads thought it was a reach when they drafted Nix. And then as the season progressed, and he was clearly better than Caleb Williams, right? And had a sense of presence and poise that a lot of other rookies don't seem to have. People started to wake up a bit. And then when the defense was good, people took notice. I think the question is, does it carry over? And is Bo Nix, is there progression? Or was that a kind of season like we had? Who's that New England quarterback that
Last year?
No, a couple of years ago. He was drafted first round draft, and he had this the most recent guy with Belichick.
Mac Jones?
Yeah, Matt Jones, right? He had that good first season. They went to the playoffs, I think, and then nothing.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm skeptical.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if I had to take a side on this, I guess I would go under on the Broncos again, just because their division's tough.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's last year, what their over under was like 6 or 5.5 or something.
We're expected to be that.
Obviously, they overachieved. So like you're a little banged up, and you just played a tough opponent, and then you're like, oh, we got the Broncos. Early in the season last year, you're not exactly like, oh boy, we really got to bring it, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, those sorts of things happen, but I don't know. I guess the line is fair enough. It just seems like to expect them to win 10 in that division seems like a little bit of a reach to me. But
They won 10 last year. And look, if they come in on the under, that's still 9. They can win 9 games. That's still a winning record and possible to make the playoffs.
so they did win 10 games, but do you remember week 18 last year?
That's right. It was a give up game by
The Chiefs didn't score.
Yeah, they didn't start any starters. Yeah. So that's fair. So 9 feels like taking the under. 9 feels like right. Yeah.
And that sort of situation could happen again, right? So like
Sure.
they get a freebie at the end of the year,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So that you can look at it however you want.
True. I think the question is, are the Chiefs going to be as good as they have? I don't know. I feel like they're going to not be.
Well, they got extra motivation now. They didn't win the Super Bowl.
They did.
Right?
That's fair. And they looked pretty bad in not winning.
And
they got doubled.
Kelsey's engaged now, so
And he's old. Yeah, but he's like 100 years old.
that's true.
And that's not good for football.
I don't know if it's a good thing
It's a bad thing.
Their football. Him being engaged.
I mean, I think, I guess are the Chiefs up next? We're sort of segueing naturally into the Chiefs.
We're so good at this, we just like
Man.
go straight into it.
Pros.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Chiefs next.
Boom.
I'm saying 11.5 is the over under on their wins.
Yeah, and I got 12. So
Let's see.
And I think I don't have as much faith in the Chiefs as that number projects.
Ooh, it is 11 and
Nailed
a
it.
half.
I mean, they didn't look great last year, and they stumbled into 15 wins.
Right.
So
So
they still made the Super Bowl, but
11.5. So if they win 12 and they get the over on that, that's 12 out of 17 is like 70%, something like that. Which that's a lot. That's you think 11.5, they're the Chiefs. Like, of course they should get that, but winning 70% of your games as any team consistently is tough to do. So I don't know. Like the Chiefs are the Chiefs, right? Like they're gonna win more games than they lose. They're gonna make sure they're healthy for the playoffs as much as possible, and like they're gonna make a run at a Super Bowl. Are they gonna win 12 or 11 games? I have no idea. I think it's fair.
yeah.
So how come we spend so much time talking about the crappy teams, and like I'm basically done talking about the Chiefs, and it was like 45 seconds.
Yeah, what else is there to say? Like it's the best team in football over the last 6 years, 7 years.
It's like you're supposed to focus on your weaknesses, right? Like to make yourself better. Well, I'm focusing on the weakest teams because they're just more fun to talk about. It's more fun to talk about bad.
It is.
Right?
Well, there's more possibility, right? Like there could go good, could go bad, right? There's more change. They're just more dynamic. A good team is a good team. It's just like a really shitty team. It's just a really shitty team. What are you gonna say? I'm kind of bored talking about the Chiefs,
Yeah.
and they didn't win in exciting fashion last year,
Right.
which like lets me think I would take the under here.
Yeah.
I think 11 games that feels right, and still puts them in a position to win. I just don't feel like they're going to have the same dominance.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean,
You know?
I don't know. Like a lot of people like to cheer against the Chiefs because they've won a lot. Some
Yeah.
people are kind of cold on Mahomes. They don't
Mhm.
like whatever. I think it's
Yeah.
mostly because he's winning over anything else. But I don't really mind the Chiefs. Like I don't hate him. Kind of like everyone. A lot of people hated Brady just because he was winning. I didn't really hate Brady for any reason either. Um, but yeah, I mean, we're gonna go off the Chiefs. It's a fair line. We both were right on it, and let's move on to the Las Vegas, Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, Raiders.
The Las Vegas Geno Smiths. Good mascot change there.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going 8 for the Raiders.
Got 7.5.
7.5.
I don't. Guess I'm not buying the Raiders. I don't care how much Tom Brady has been injected into that franchise. It still feels like they're headed in the not correct direction.
All right, so this says like 6.5 or 7. So you're closer, and we're both over the top.
Yeah. I just people really like Geno Smith, and he did some nice things in Seattle, but did they even make the playoffs with Geno Smith?
Yeah, well,
Not last year.
Last year, but
They did not make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
because the NFC was
It was better. Yeah, the Rams ended up winning. They were competitive, and they have been competitive with him. But that I don't think that competitive led to a playoff berth or a victory. So
I think he's made the playoffs a few times, at least once with the Seahawks. How many times did Geno Smith
yeah, help us out,
make
AI.
the playoffs?
In one game.
With the Seahawks? I don't know if he ever did with the Jets.
I don't know. I don't think the Jets have made the playoffs since Mark Sanchez was their quarterback.
He made it one time in
Okay.
2022. I could have
Okay.
sworn it was 2023, but
Okay, he lost. All right.
Yeah.
So one time for 3 years ago.
right. He's been like too good
Consistent.
to get replaced by a backup, but
Yeah.
not good enough to like
Win. Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, and your Super Bowl winning quarterback is Geno Smith. Like no one's thinking that. All right, so we both overshot it. It's 6.5. Well, it's 6.5 with a lot of juice on the over. So
Yeah.
6.5 or 7, whatever. But I don't know. They've drafted Genty, so
Yeah.
Geno Smith is better than whatever dumpster fire they had going on at quarterback last year.
No question.
He's got Pete Carroll with him, which he, I believe, overlapped with for a few years in Seattle.
He brought him to Seattle. Yeah, I mean this playoff was Pete Carroll, that playoff appearance.
So Brady's whatever. I don't know what his role is exactly, but it seems like he's trying to
kind of murky.
bring a little bit of stability. Yeah, like let's not just draft get all the best talent and try to smash them together. Let's get some people who
know how,
have some discipline and are going to do things the right way. So
I don't think it's a bad idea, right, to go out and get the best, most prolific quarterback in the history of the game to advise you in how your shitty franchise is doing. I just don't feel like this is the season where we see the impact of that. And I don't think that the direction that they've taken from a leadership coaching standpoint, I'm not sure that that's the right decision. Yes, Geno Smith is stability. But if the way to win in this NFL is getting the best quarterback, then driving to a middling record doesn't make any sense to me. And I guess maybe if you just try to push for a playoff berth, maybe that's what they're trying to do, just to get some liveliness or energy into the franchise. But then Geno Smith isn't a proven product in that regard either. So this just is it's a weird team. Be interested to see where they go. I think the line right here is kind of brilliant, actually, because could they lose or could they win only 6 games? For sure. Could they also win 7? That also feels, it's just like a really, 7 wins is still like a shitty season. And it's the over. I honestly don't see 8 or 9 here.
Right. I don't either. And a lot's good. Well, let's just take a look at their roster. So obviously Geno Smith we talked about. They just drafted Genty top 5 overall. Jacoby Myers apparently like wants a trade or something. There was some like talk about he's not happy. I'm not really sure why because he's listed like him and Amari Cooper are basically their top two receivers. So I don't know what's going on there. Trey Tucker, Bowers had an incredible year as a tight end. So he's already an elite tight end. So
Yep.
on offense, they have their skill players are at least average, I would say. Obviously, the defense is going to be maybe the question mark. They still got Crosby.
Well, let me ask you this. When was the last time, and maybe first time for everything, when was the last time you saw an amazing, high powered, super efficient offense driven by your running back and your tight end? Is your best players on offense? Like, is the key strategic pieces to get a drive going, to get that extra yard, to score the touchdown instead of the field goal? What's a team that's done that?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, when I think of explosive offenses, I think of like the Bengals, which is, they probably have the best, maybe the best receiving core in the NFL or one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And here's an interesting thing I just thought of. So, Geno Smith, it seems like he didn't really throw to his tight ends that much in Seattle, and maybe that was because they just weren't that good. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this a reason to sort of maybe like a lot of people are going to reach and take Bowers high in their fantasy drafts?
Yeah.
Like maybe Geno Smith isn't so great with tight ends, and maybe that's a reason not to reach for Bowers. But I mean, that's another story.
The other pieces too is like, Carroll is a ground and pound guy. He wants to ram it down your throat and then shove the defense in your face and win a game. And I just feel like that's not how you win mostly in NFL right now. And it just, if their goal is to go out and run Ashton Gentry like 70 times a game,
he's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, he's gonna get hurt. They're just not going to score a ton of points. And is their defense anywhere near good enough to like win, 19-17 matchups, 16-20 matchups? I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, I recognize names on the defense, but I can't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, Max Crosby obviously is a force, but
yeah. So,
is he a porn star?
Who?
Max Crosby. Does he like moonlight as a?
No, I don't think so.
Like, did his parents do that on purpose, or is that something he affected after he became an adult? The double X in his name. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's super tough now. Yeah. Was he? Is he? Oh, now I'm an asshole for making sense.
Yeah, you were.
I'm a bully. I am.
Guy.
I'm sorry, Nick. That's beat the hell out of this
Max. Okay, Raiders 6.5 or 7-ish.
Take the under. No. Take the over.
Yeah,
7 wins feels right.
We'll see. No strong opinion from me on that one. The last team in that division is the Chargers.
Can we take a moment to talk about Jim Harbaugh being a cheater?
What happened?
This is in college.
Oh,
all those sanctions. I don't think we're talking about that enough. Like, yeah, the sanctions are coming down, but Harbaugh cheated. Cheater.
So, like, a lot of stuff has come out more lately about, like,
no, I'm making
him, or you're just saying?
I'm drawing an inference for he was not very good at Michigan, couldn't beat Ohio State, and all of a sudden they started cheating, and guess what? They won a national title and beat Ohio State.
So, what do you think he's doing to cheat in the NFL?
I guess I just don't.
And...
I mean, is he going the way of Bill Belichick? I don't know. I guess I don't think of him as a good coach anymore. And I don't think he's going to affect the kind of change that people were hoping he would in LA. And he might just be out of ideas.
Yeah. That could be. I said the Chargers 10.5.
I've got them at 9.5.
9 and a hook.
Yes, sir. Chargers.
9.5. You got it.
Nailed it.
Very fair. Yeah. Chargers made the playoffs and then lost to the Texans, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole Texans got the home game because they won their division deal.
Yes.
9.5. I don't know. Like there's certain teams that I feel like I just like pull for, like without like with like unconsciously pull for, and for some reason like I like Herbert. I wouldn't say I necessarily love Harbaugh as like a person, but I think he's a really good coach. And then like, so can the Chargers win 10 games? Like, I think so.
They
Like,
won 11 last year.
yeah, and
They
I
were
think they
competitive
were
at this game.
expected. They probably were only expected to win maybe 8
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
So,
And everybody thought they were going to, well, everybody. I think most people, the consensus was that going into that Texans game in the playoffs, that they would win because the Texans were not great last year. And CJ Stroud didn't look as good as he did in his rookie season. But then the Texans just came out and fucking smoked him. Owned that game.
Yeah, that was weird to kind of see them dominate. I mean,
they were dominant.
It seems like almost every year a team with a worse record that hosts the playoff
That's
game,
the truth.
like, they're just right. They bring the juice because they feel like they're the underdog, right? Yep. And then they win. It seems like there's one of those every year, and that was true last year. But
I mean, I think CJ Stroud is legitimate, right? And Herbert, I agree. I like Herbert. I'm rooting for him. He seems to be everything you would want in a quarterback. He seems to have the size. He seems to have the arm. He's got some semblance of pocket presence and has some, movement. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he's got that a little bit.
He also seems to have a little bit of the clutch gene too.
Yep.
Like he doesn't he shines
to make and he doesn't seem to make mistakes. Yeah,
right. And he was banged up last year a little bit. I can't remember. That's true. His ankle or whatever.
He was never right.
Definitely not 100%.
No,
at least a few of them.
And he missed like all of the preseason last year. He had some sort of ankle or something. I feel like that's the truth, that he had injuries early on in the season, and he never seemed to get right fully.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but that could be. I know Burrow had something like that too.
He had that wrist, right? Wasn't that it with Burrow? He had a wrist injury coming out of the 2023 season and into 24. There's a lot of he did something. He grabbed something on the sidelines and dropped it in the preseason, and everyone was like, "Oh no, what's going on with Burrow?" And he was fine. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the Chargers. I might take the under here. 9 wins feels about right, I think, and I wouldn't be surprised maybe if the wheels fell off a little bit.
All right. So I think over. You said you wouldn't be surprised if it goes under.
Yeah, 9 wins.
So next week we'll go back. So next week we're gonna guess the lines for week 1.
The line.
And also go back and we'll kind of do a quick recap on kind of what we thought about some of these over-unders and kind of give some predictions. And then we'll do week 1 lines. So just getting you ready for next week's show. Okay. Yes. We're done with the West. We're on to the East, the actual East. We did the East once, and it wasn't the East, it was the South.
So now it's really the AFC.
Yes. Okay. The Dolphins. I am going right in the middle, 8.5.
Give me 7 on those Dolphins.
Oh, they underachieved last year. And
8.5.
All right.
Nailed it.
8.5. I got it. All right. So when I was looking at this one, it just seemed like an easy one to predict, just because they underachieved last year, but the talent's there. I don't know, McDaniel, obviously offensive, creativity, Tyreek Hill, Tua, if he could stay healthy, the talent's obviously there. But then they underachieved last year, and there seems to be some kind of, I don't know, it's not a well-oiled machine. It seems like they got a little bit of angst in the organization. So 8.5 is just right in the middle, right? It's the most average season. So do you think that the talent's going to take over and they're going to just start clicking, or do you think they're going to have another down year? McDaniel gets fired, sort of a thing. So it just felt right to put it right in the middle. And I don't know, there's teams that, like I said, well-coached teams with a good clutch quarterback that I tend to kind of pull for or think that they're going to overachieve. And the Dolphins are not one of those teams for me. I just don't expect them to do as well as other people think they will. Yeah, I mean, if I had to, I'd go under, but I think 8.5 is very fair.
Yeah, to me, you hit it. I think this is the last ride of coaching QB in Miami. This feels like a teardown. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. And I just don't know that they got the QB right. And the coach, yeah, he was one of those flash in the pan, like offensive guru guys who got the head coaching gig. And I don't, was he not ready? Did he not have the pieces? Does he not know how to evaluate talent? Is he all cerebral and plays and calling, doesn't know how to develop talent? I don't know. But this just feels right. That they're good enough to not be totally bad, but not good enough to make the playoffs. It feels 7, 8, maybe even 9 wins and out of the playoff feels right.
Yeah. So, I mean, they got the Patriots and the Jets in their division. So, can they win 3 out of 4 of those? Maybe, but I think the Patriots will be decent with Vrabel and May.
Vrabel's a great coach.
So, I don't know. We'll get to that in a second. But let's go to the Bills.
Stop. No, stop. No.
I'm going 10.5.
11.
11.
11. Yeah, but this goes up to 11. Oh,
Whoa. Basically 12. That's
call it 12.
crazy.
It is. I think like outside of the Eagles, I feel like the Bills are like the other team, like that people want to favor as Super Bowl contenders. Certainly coming out of the AFC, people feel like maybe it's Josh Allen's time.
Yeah, so they have the highest over under of any team, more than the Ravens, more than the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say some of this has to be schedule. They probably have an easier schedule. Well, you look at their division, it's not strong. And then they're non or whatever, yeah, they're non-conference. They must play. I don't know. Their schedule must be fairly easy. Yeah, I don't know. 12 is a lot. Like,
I mean, they won 13 last year.
yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they start the season playing the Ravens.
That's a loss.
No. I mean, that's going to be a great game. It's the best game of the early season, I think. Let's see, they play the Falcons, they play the Chiefs, they play the Bucks. I don't know. They play the Texans, they play the Steelers. So doing the AFC North, and then looks like they're playing the Eagles towards the end of. I mean, they don't have a cake schedule, that's for sure.
So last year, I remember thinking, okay, I think the Bills might sort of underachieve. I think their over under was around like 10.5 or 11. And I'm like, it just seems like a lot, but they won 13. Like I was totally wrong on that. And part of that was like Diggs had left, and I didn't think Allen would do quite as good without some receivers that like people thought the receiving core got worse. And he did just as good as he had done in the past. So I was totally wrong on that. So I don't know, maybe 12 is fair, but that's just crazy. Like 12-5.
I mean, they played arguably the two worst divisions in the league, the AFC East, the actual AFC East, and then the NFC South. So could you see like, I don't know, 7 wins just out of that? For sure. So that they get 5 wins elsewhere. I mean, those five wins coming against, I don't know. They're by the end of the season, they're going to have played the best of the best in the NFL. So we're going to know what kind of team they are. I think that's the truth.
All right, 12 seems high, but I don't know. Maybe
and
it's
probably a lock to win this division. Not probably a lock to win this division.
Yeah, definitely.
Like barring major injuries.
Yeah. If one other team wins this division, I think it has to be like Drake
Vrabel
just has an incredible.
Yes, that's right.
And Vrabel, like the defense is just humming, and like it's the Patriots. But
that's it. That's it exactly.
All right. Speaking of them Patriots, I'm saying this is probably a little high, but I'm saying 8 over under for the Patriots.
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
8.5.
Right.
Okay. They heard me talking about May and Vrabel. They're like, yeah, they're gonna win 8.5 games. 8-8 with a tie. All right. Yeah, it makes sense why it's a little higher than we thought, I guess, with I don't know, the history of the Patriots. Drake May made more strides. Like he didn't start the year, and then by the end of the year, he looked like he belonged. Like he,
Mhm.
showed flashes. So you put a defensive minded head coach in a good organization with a quarterback who's showing the progression that you want, and it's fair. Like, can they win as many games as they lose? Yeah, I could see it, especially again, like hosting the Dolphins, they're going to be favored probably. Hosting the Jets, they're going to be favored. I don't know. Like you said, they got to play the NFC South, so not
Patriots.
a great division
No.
there. So
Yeah, do you like the Patriots better than the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints right now?
Saints for sure, and I would say probably yeah on the Panthers
Panthers.
too. Although the Panthers are such a question mark.
Yeah, we don't know, right? Like we'll see. Like Bryce Young seemed to do some things last year, and I don't think it wasn't all in garbage time either, right? Like they won games on their own merit. Um, that's a fascinating question. Maybe the most interesting team in the NFL, just because we truly don't know what we're going to get, and there's such a preponderance of evidence that they're going to be shitty, right? But there's a spark of hope, so that's just really interesting. Um, but I think the Patriots are better than those two teams. I don't think there's any question. They won 4 games last year. So does Mike Vrabel plus an ascendant Dre May equal 5 more wins to get to the over here? I don't know. Oh, I think 8 makes sense. Actually, is it worth 4 wins? I would say yes.
Yeah, let's look up their. I'll be honest, I don't really know like their depth
Right.
chart as well as um,
And they've got a good running back, I think, too.
Johnny Johnson. Uh,
From Andre Stevenson. No, Travion Henderson is their draft pick.
yeah, Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson both. Henderson's from Ohio State, right?
I think so, yeah.
So I mean, those two are definitely solid running backs. They picked up Diggs, who on the field he seems like he always brings it. He's a little bit of a wild card off the field, but Demario Douglas is kind of a smaller receiver, but decent. Okay, so Diggs, Douglas, and Kyle Williams. I don't know. That doesn't seem like a.
No, not a good wide receiver suite. And here's the thing: Stephon Diggs, his big move was to the Texans last year, and guess what? He's not on the Texans anymore. And there's a reason for that.
Right.
And the Texans are a good team with a good coach and a good quarterback. So they're not going to fuck around with people who are going to interfere with their progress. I don't think this in a situation where we're trying to develop a quarterback, jamming a crabby wide receiver down that QB's throat seems like a mistake to me.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. Kendrick Bourne apparently is not a starting receiver, and he was one of their better receivers last year. So I don't know if that means he's fallen off or if this Kyle Williams character is legit, but we'll see. Mac Hollins is kind of a journeyman receiver. He's on the depth chart as well. Uh, all right, so was Drake May going to take that next step and be one of the many quarterbacks that were better than Caleb Williams out of that draft? Or
Let me ask you this. What's the over under on the number of sideline fights Stephon Diggs has with anybody on that team? What would you put it at?
like, what's considered a fight? Can it just be verbal?
Yes, absolutely. Not doesn't have to, and I'm not even anticipating any sort of physical altercation, but just getting in somebody's face, or just how about like rabidly complaining about not getting a pass, or fighting with the coach, or complaining about like what is the over on? Like
I think it's the same as their wins, 8.5.
I love it, dude. That's great.
They're gonna win.
That's great.
8.5, and then in all the losses, he's gonna throw a yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's the right answer. I love it.
Yeah,
I agree.
right on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any sports book. Come on. Let's get that out there. I want to put some money on it.
Then you'd have to argue over like the judgment call when he was just kind of like snarling but didn't say anything.
Right. That's fair. I mean, get some clear guidelines out there, and I'm fine with it. Let's go.
Okay. Last but almost least, but maybe not the worst team in the league is the Jets.
Haven't they been relegated yet?
The gosh darn Jets to what? Like the
I don't know.
Wiener League, like between college and
D2?
NFL? Yeah.
D3?
Okay, so
Canadian football?
I'll go out on a limb and say they're going to be better than the Saints, but I'm putting their over under at 6.5. What do you got?
I'm gonna go 5.5, 5.5, because I don't think Justin Fields is a consistent starting quarterback. He's got the same issues that the Caleb Williams seems to have. He just doesn't know what to do with the football if there's not an immediate answer.
Okay, so it looks like it is 5.5.
Yeah. They're not going to be very good. And I like their coach, but again, the way that you win in the NFL today is with a thriving offense, and I just don't know if a defensive guy is in any position to deliver that in today's NFL. So, and with a QB who's not a replacement level NFL starter,
Hold on.
disaster.
They're, they got the
Aaron Glenn,
Okay.
yeah, DC.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, does anyone think Justin Fields can like win a Super Bowl? Like, I just still don't see it. Like, he can win games, absolutely. But we still haven't seen enough from him, like throwing that Brown thing to like good enough to like,
No.
I don't know.
He doesn't make good decisions in the pocket. He just doesn't. He holds on the ball too long, and if he's not holding on to the ball too long, he sort of takes off and runs like almost immediately. There doesn't seem to be any middle ground, and he doesn't have like the thing that always frustrated me the most out of Fields, and at least with Williams, he's not doing this. It's like he's got that wide receiver, flat or the running back screen, right, just out to the flat. He misses, and invariably the receiver's wide open, and he misses it consistently.
Who does Williams?
Just Fields, yeah. He can't hit that 10-yard out. He cannot do it. It's always over here or over here. It's never right here. And if you can't make that simple play, your offense is going to die every time. And he just can't seem to do it.
Maybe he just hasn't figured out that people catching the ball do it with their hands. Like,
that's fair.
so he's just
that's fair. I mean, that's as plausible an answer as anything I've ever heard.
Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Garrett Wilson, Josh Reynolds, Alan Lazard, Mason Taylor is their tight end. He must be a rookie.
It sounds like you're reading the roster of like a low level law firm or something like that. You saw any football players on this team?
Find out.
I guess so. Can't wait.
5.5. I mean, that seems low for a team. Yeah. Like last year, right? Russell Wilson wasn't healthy, so Fields started, and I think they were like what 3
they won some
1,
games, yeah,
4-2 or something under Fields or something.
Yeah, so there was some talk that he was starting to ascend, like around week 3, week 4. He got Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's like he's going to figure him out. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. True story. And but then he wasn't really losing, but they went back to Russell Wilson anyway. I think that tells you everything you need to know. Because they weren't quite losing, but they weren't quite winning either. And Tomlin didn't think he was going to get him there. And he opted for Wilson, which I don't know. This doesn't seem like it's going in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, and when Wilson came in, they did continue winning. And then they, like the last 5 games of the year, they kind of had a slide and barely made the playoffs. But so yeah, I mean, like it was the whole like he'll get us to a certain point, but yeah, like is he a pure enough quarterback to like take that next step and actually like make a playoff run? Like I don't know. Some people maybe see that, but I haven't seen that out of Fields. So
I mean, so from a draft perspective, they took an offense, they took a tackle and in the first round, and they took a tight end the second, right? So Mason Taylor. So they invested a little bit in the offense, but it doesn't look like okay. So their first round pick is starting at right tackle. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess he's throwing the ball to that tight end.
Yeah,
5 wins.
I just don't see like there's always a couple teams that no one really expects to, overachieve or like make that playoff push. I don't know. I just don't think the Jets are that team.
No, they're five. They won 5 wins last year. Are they going to be? They got one more win in them this year, or does 5 feel right? 5 feels almost right to me.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely fair. I just no,
Like, could they sweep the Dolphins? I certainly they'll take one from the Dolphins. They'll take. I think they'll probably split with the Patriots. Um, and then if the Patriots are really good, then they'll probably lose to the Patriots. I don't know. 5 wins seems about right.
yeah, I do think they can get to six just because six is not a ton, but I like
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
that's
I'm not
it
that
though. That's
yeah.
the ceiling, right? There's like this is like you're not seeing 12 wins. If they fucking win 12 games this season, that's because Tyrod Taylor came off the bench and was a Superman.
Or maybe their defense was
That's true.
fantastic.
12 wins just on your defense alone.
What if the
Wow.
Jets win 9 games with Justin Fields and they could only win 5 games with Aaron Rodgers? What if?
I mean, what the fuck does that say about the Steelers seasons this year?
Yeah.
Nothing good.
All right. So that's the East, the actual AFC East.
Yes, that's right.
So the Bills clearly we think are the kind of the favorite to win that division, and then the West. I mean, you can't really pick against the Chiefs, although the Broncos or the Chargers. Who knows? Like they both were playoff teams last year. If they take that next step, I mean, I don't think they're challenging the Chiefs for the division, but definitely could be playoff teams again. What else? Is that all we got?
I mean, do you want to do a little bit speculating since we're diving right into over-unders next week? Do you want to do a little bit of how we think the season's going to play out? A little bit of playoff prediction, Super Bowl contenders?
Yeah,
we drive a little bit. We got some time.
All right. How many teams make the playoffs? 7?
7 from each conference.
Okay. So
yeah,
just real quick here. I mean, the Texans are the only team coming out of their division. The Colts, Jags, and Titans are not good at the game of football. So I'll go, Texans, and then I think the Bengals are going to finally figure it out.
Okay.
I can't. Oh, like the Steelers are such a question mark. Like they haven't had a losing season in so long. I don't know. Let's hold on that. Texans, Bengals,
who are your
Ravens.
Locks? Yeah, your locks for the playoffs.
Texans, Bengals, Ravens.
Yep. Me
Chiefs.
Too. Yep.
Bills, Chargers, and then I guess who am I gonna throw? Who's the other one I was thinking? I guess Broncos.
Yeah, so I like that. I like Texans for sure, Ravens for sure, Bills for sure, Chiefs for sure. I like the Broncos for sure. We got 2 more, and Chargers, Patriots, Bengals. I mean, those are the contenders for those last 2 spots.
So I mean,
Colts maybe.
We're not really going out on a limb. Basically, all the teams we named are proven quarterbacks and head coaches. Basically,
I mean, generational quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
Like Chiefs, Bills, and Ravens for sure have generational quarterbacks. Like, there's just no question. You've got how many MVPs? Like Lamar's got 2, Josh Allen's got 1. I don't know how many Patrick's Mahomes. Maybe Mahomes has 1. That's 5.
Yeah,
4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, so let's just quickly go through the teams we kind of mentioned. So Texans, so Ryans and Stroud have made the playoffs 2 years in a row, right? Yeah. So there's some stability there.
Some wins too.
Plus their division is terrible. Okay, Bengals the Bengals haven't made the playoffs in 2 years, but it's okay,
one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, Burrow's really good.
That offense was good last year.
People still think Taylor is a pretty good coach, even though it's kind of been a lot of the defense that's been letting him down. So
and they got rid of their DC last year.
Right. Yeah, he's on the Colts. They just played each other in the preseason. I saw Taylor and Anarumo talking before the game. Yeah, kind of laughing awkwardly. There had to be some discussion about you got fired and some internal I would love to have been a fly. Whatever.
Yeah.
He was Zach Taylor's shirt.
Yeah. Or Anarumo was the year before. There was is he going to be a head coach? Is he going to be a head coach? I don't know.
I don't know that he was really the problem, but I'm not good at.
Fuck, man, they lucked into Burrow, and I just meh.
So the only other or the only team that I didn't mention as making the playoffs that sort of has, I guess, a good head coach and someone who used to be a good quarterback at least would be the Steelers. So Tomlin and Rodgers, but like I just don't see them. Wow. I mean, they got the defense. It's all going to come down to how well like what Rodgers has left in the tank, really, and how he kind of blends with what they're trying to do. Like if there's any sort of if he can, I don't know what's the word, like synergy or like if they can, make it happen. The talent's obviously there, or at least Rodgers' talent used to be there. He's getting old, obviously, but and then like the Ravens, right? Like Harbaugh and Jackson have been there forever. Um, you know, if the Broncos make it, like Nick's had a good year last year. We know what you know what you're getting out of Peyton. He's one of the better coaches, I would say. Chiefs, Chargers, it's just the same story, right? It's like, oh yeah. So you guys think the good quarterbacks with the good coaches are going to win? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. But what's the one? Let's pick one team that really is not supposed to be very good that
There's always one.
wins a playoff.
Always one.
Like,
or at least makes the
maybe
playoffs.
like in the NFC last year, like the Commanders, right?
Yep.
Or so let me. I gotta think.
The big turnaround team.
I mean, I'm gonna say, I guess Patriots. Like if
that's
it's
Vrabel.
Maybe a stretch for this year, but like,
well, looking at this list, where do you put Vrabel in terms of the coaches here, right? So you've got Reed, Peyton, and Tomlin, and then after that, like who's a better coach? Like who's the fourth best coach in this conference right now? It's like it's Vrabel and Harbaugh, right? And I guess the other Harbaugh. So
maybe Carroll.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't know. So the top four has to be John Harbaugh, Andy Reid, Mike Tomlin, and Sean Payton. So those are the top four. So is Vrabel fifth? I mean, I guess Carroll because he's got the ring.
McDermott, maybe, but
the guy.
Those coach.
I don't. He just seems like a guy who's waiting to get fired. You have a generational talent like Josh Allen, you just can't get over the hump. At some point, it's the coach's fault.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so I don't know. We're kind of like cut and dry on the AFC who's going to make the playoffs, but I mean there is just kind of almost a clear divider on teams that should make it and the teams that shouldn't.
Yeah, I think I like the Colts honestly to be that surprise team. Steichen has been competitive with questionable QB talent, and he's an offensive guy. And I don't think Daniel Jones is the long-term answer there, but is he going to be able to get more out of Jones than Anthony Richardson? I think the answer is clearly yes. Is he going to be able to get more out of Daniel Jones than Brian Daboll? I think the answer is maybe. So could the Colts get into the playoffs with 9 wins, maybe 10 wins? They've been circling that record for a couple of years. I think yes, that would be my pick.
Yeah, I mean they should be the second best team in their conference or in their division.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean like Steichen's I think is probably a better head coach than Cohen and whatever the Titans guy.
I don't know. No, he's he's Callahan. Callahan is
Callahan Auto Parts. Okay, let's go to the NFC. So I'm gonna go Rams, 49ers, Bucks, Packers, Lions, and then there's one division I'm not really thinking about, which is the East. So Eagles, obviously.
Yep.
Commanders.
Yep. That's 5. You got 5. You got all 7?
7 total, yeah. That's what I'm going with. And then
I like that.
My kind of my wild card could make a run sort of a team is the Cardinals. They showed flashes. They were in first place halfway through the season last year. If Murray can figure it out, obviously he's a unicorn when he's on.
Mm.
McBride, I think they still have Connor. Like, I think they could make some noise,
Mm.
especially if you think the 49ers maybe didn't get any better. And I mean, like, I don't know how you. I mean, the Rams are going to be good. Like, I don't see a situation where the Rams struggle unless Stafford is hurt.
And he's got some back issues, I thought.
Yeah, and then obviously the Seahawks could, like, they won 10 games last year. They brought Darnold over, who won whatever 14 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they could take the next step.
Yeah,
that's what I'm going with.
I mean, I mean, Eagles clearly. I think the Bucks. I really like the Bucks. I don't know that Liam Cohen going away makes that big of a difference. I feel Baker has established himself. Um, I do like the Lions and the Packers. I think maybe I like the Packers most. Um, I just feel like that might be the best coach QB combination in the NFC. And so I think I like those two teams. Um, I don't think I like anybody else in the East. I don't even know who I like in the West, honestly. I have real doubts about the Niners, and I'd have no faith in the Cardinals. I think Rams is a safe choice if as long as Stafford remains healthy. So I'll take the Rams there. Um, I don't think there's any other team coming out of the South. I don't buy Atlanta right now. Maybe Dallas. Dallas might be a surprise team, honestly. I just feel like everybody was hating so much on the coaching choice, and there's all that fucking drama with Micah Parsons. Yeah, maybe I pick Dallas.
And I mean, it's funny how neither one of us talked about either one of our teams, but like, like there's a lot of I don't know, like when you root for a team, you kind of know your team better than other people, and you kind of like, I don't know, like some people are either way too optimistic, which doesn't make any sense, or overly critical, or like just critical because you know what you're dealing with. I will say that people who aren't Bears or Vikings fans could definitely see either team as that team that could take that step and make
no
the
question.
playoffs.
That's right. That's right.
They both have quarterbacks who are supposed to be kind of the next best thing.
That's right.
Very good head coaches.
Well, at least with Minnesota, that's true. Johnson has not proved it. Although I do like what he says. He's calling out the players for their slow starts. That has been a defining characteristic of a Bears offense for 50 years. So, I mean, the fact that he's pushing it and calling it out, I do like that. So whether or not his anger at it translates into him being able to do anything about it is an open question. We'll probably talk more about this next week, but I will guarantee you when the Bears play the Vikings that they will have an abysmal first half. There's just any question about it. I have no idea what the Vikings are going to do, but the Bears offense is going to fucking suck for 2 quarters in that first game. What happened, whether or not they win or lose, I don't know. But especially their first offensive series, fucking garbage.
Yeah, so there are quite a few, like you hear murmurs of like start Bajent the first game. And like he probably has a better chance of doing better in that first game, but you can't draft Williams #1 overall and like bring in the new head coach. Yeah, like he has to start. Now, like I said, do I think the Bears would fare better if Bajent played this game? I do, but you can't do that, right? Like you just can't do that.
I don't know about the talent with Bajent, and the thing that people say is just he doesn't have the arm strength. He doesn't have the arm strength. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'll be frank. I don't think they know what the fuck they're talking about. He has more poise than Williams does right now. He just does. Whether or not the physical tools are there or not, an open question. But his presence, his leadership is better. And he looks like he knows what he's doing, or at least what he wants to do with confidence in a way Williams doesn't. And that's the reason why Williams continues to struggle in those opening series, right? And it takes him a while to get any level of comfort. And that's just not the case with Bajent. Now, whether or not, again, you can win more games with Bajent, I don't know. But again, some of the The rumors are generating. It feels like the Bears have a bye in week 5. And so, depending on their record, there may be a shift as early as that, depending on how the rest of the team is doing. But you're right. You cannot start your backup
right
in the first game.
Some people are saying start Bagent game 1, and other people are saying that Williams deserves 2 years under Johnson to like for Bears fans to like really know, or for the Bears organization to really know like whether he's the guy, which that seems like a reach the other way. But
yeah, I don't think Ben Johnson is going to give him 2 years to figure it out. I do feel like if he continues to start slow and struggle, he's not going to make it to the end of the season. And what I will say is I will point to that contract extension to Bagent as the evidence for that, because you don't do that and you don't celebrate it as much as, and I know it's a great story. I'm not trying to take anything away from that, but you don't do that if you have ultimate confidence in Caleb Williams. You just don't. You just don't. You go and get any other fucking backup. You just do. It's fine. Whoever the backup is, it's fine because Caleb Williams is ascending. They don't have confidence in Williams. That's all that contract extension tells me.
Yeah, so one thing real quick. So you mentioned the arm strength thing, and they keep bringing that up. I don't understand how you're either a starter or a backup in the NFL, and arm strength is a question mark. Like I just don't buy it. Now, some quarterbacks certainly can throw the ball harder than others, but like I think I can throw a football like as hard as I would need to throw it in the NFL to get it into receivers. Like so, and I never was never really a quarterback ever.
Yeah.
I just don't understand that. Like, how do you get to that point and you can't throw the football hard enough?
It doesn't make any sense. And and what they will say is it's arm strength. It's not about how far you throw it. It's how fast you throw it, right? Because you've got to get the ball in there in those narrow windows to beat the defender. And you saw on one of those touchdown plays that Bagent threw, I think it was a touchdown play, or maybe it was the play leading up to the touchdown. There was this much separation between his receiver and the defender, and the fucking guy, he caught it. It was right there, right past. It was a perfect fucking pass. And I don't know what you tell me that's not arm strength. The gap was like this. It was a perfectly thrown ball. So I don't know. I don't think anybody knows what the hell they're talking about.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It gets brought up a lot. So like, obviously, totally. Maybe it's just like me not understanding, but I just don't get that.
I'm an idiot, but
you play quarterback all the way through, and you're good enough to make the NFL, and then your arm's just not strong enough. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. It is. It's just to me, it's a non-starter. But I don't look. I don't know that he wins if he became a starter. I don't know that he'd be any better. But he just looks more confident.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're kind of cautiously optimistic, or maybe not so optimistic about our teams. I do think the Vikings are going to have a really good defense. I do think their coach is really good.
This infrastructure is there.
McCarthy is obviously a question mark, but
not in a bad way, though. It's not a negative to be uncertain about what he's doing. There's just a realm of possibility with him. It's a good place to be.
And I don't know, the skill around McCarthy on offense and defense, I think is very good. Like, it's not like they're struggling with other positions like any more than any other team. So I guess I'm sort of optimistic, but obviously until McCarthy actually plays a real game, we just don't know.
I mean, they have two top 20 receivers, and certainly one in the top 5.
And Addison's out a few games because he got reckless driving.
Yeah, right. That's true. But I mean, when he's playing, he's one of the best receivers in the top 20 receivers in the game. And Justin Jefferson is top 5.
Did they sign Thielen back? I thought they maybe.
Oh, did they get? Hey, he's good, but he's ancient. He's got to be.
They got Thielen as their number 3, so like, obviously he must still be able to play. Like at one point, he was the fastest player on the Vikings when he was younger in his heyday. So. And obviously just a really good possession receiver. So I do like that they brought him back. He's a Minnesota, born and raised in Minnesota. So
no, dude, you got to throw your optimism in the toilet, dude. They're fullbacks on IR.
CJ Hambam, who went to Augustana, which is Division Two.
But he's out. So I mean, nah, no.
Placed on
Sorry,
injured
Vikings.
reserve yesterday. That is interesting.
He's a 9. He's been in the league 9 seasons though.
Yeah.
See, all that experience, guys are toast.
Throw it all out the window. CJ Ham is hurt.
Done. No fullback, no wins.
All right, that's all we got today.
Go Vikings!